Stay with your legs, media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. What's up, business Louis? Stay with your legs, media. And we decided to come outside and freeze for no reason just to tell you about Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegarrd. As we know, Jonas Vingegarrd has just abandoned Paris-Nice. He had a crash. He landed on his face. He busted up his mouth and a few other bits of him. And he also landed on his wrist pretty hard. His wrist is bruised, but it's not broken. So it's crazy. It was almost similar to the same, it would have been similar to the injury that Tadej Pogacar has. And when you can't use your wrist, it puts you out, so you can't do the races and you can't do the road miles. And lucky for him, it's just bruised, so he should be able to mend up pretty quickly and get going again. And so we're just gonna look at what is Tadej looking like, and also what is Jonas Vingegaard looking like. I'm just watching him throughout the whole race, and he just didn't seem to be that Vingegaard of old, like that killer driller that Jonas Vingegaard normally is. And yeah, it just seems like the big crash and him coming back from the big crash, he's just a totally different person. Nothing wrong, nothing bad, but just not that same aggressive, go get you type of rider. And even he's just so much more emotional. I think it's I think personally, I think a lot of the emotion has to do he's just happy and grateful to be alive and be able to race and make a living off of such a fantastic sport. But what I wanted to get into is some of the preparation leading up to the Tour de France, because the big goal for Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogacar is the Tour de France. But they have two totally different approaches to the Tour de France. So if you look at Jonas, Jonas is his next race on the calendar, providing that he heals up and everything well, is Catalunya, the Dauphiné, and then the Tour de France. So he has two fairly big one day. It's about 1 week each, stage races. Fairly big, fairly tough as well. And in hindsight, it's really good preparation. But it just seems different. It seems like it's not enough. And I think if he's going to be if he wants to challenge Tadej, it just feels like he needs to do more. And we know that he trains, they have really specific training, and it gets him into shape. So obviously that training was obvious last year after he had his big crash and you didn't see him anywhere. So they had him doing the training indoors or wherever he was training. It was really specific, and it is intense. So combined with the 2 1 week stage races and all of that stuff he did last year, hey, it just might be the formula, and he might just be on even more devastating and killer form than he was last year. He was in pretty good shape, but he just wasn't quite where Tadej was, but he was in good shape. So with him being able to probably do the preparation he did last year, plus the racing that he's gonna get prior to, so it is a good look. It is still a question, two races, even though they're big. It was but yeah. But then you look at Tadej. Okay, the list is long. He's doing Milan to Sanremo, E3 Saxo Classic, Gateway Gum, Ron Van Vendelen, Amstel Girl, Pickup is coming for your race. Flash Wallon, Liège Bastogne Liège, which he won last year. I think he's won 2 years. Yeah, he won last year. I don't know if he won it 2 years in a row. The Dauphiné, so that's pretty cool. You're gonna get to see the last race before the Tour de France, the Dauphiné. You're gonna see we're gonna get a preview of the Tour de France with Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard in the Dauphiné. And how does that add up? I'm just trying to think the preparation that Jonas is doing. It's going to be it's going to involve endurance. It's going to definitely involve increasing his endurance in real time because of the stage racing. So you're going to get that back to back. That that your body's going to get that adaptation of that back to back to back, day after day adaptation. The thing that's different that Tadej is doing, I don't know how. I actually like the preparation that Tadej is doing because it's what he's doing is harder on the body. It's his body's going to get beat more. It's and then on top of that, he's doing the races that are long and hard. So he may not be doing the day to day back to back, which I think Jonas is going to have the advantage of, you know, getting the body to the adaptation of back to back. But then he's going to do the Dauphiné, so he's going to get a chance to get some of that preparation in. But like the Ron van Wendelen, the Get Wevelgem, Liège, Bastogne, Liège, the Milan to San Remo, Milan to San, it's just long. It's not as hard as those other races. E3 Saxo, like all of those are in Belgium, and they're most of the classics. The only one that's missing is Paris-Roubaix. And the big question is, will Tadej do Paris-Roubaix sometime in the future, or like just surprise everybody and sneak it in this year? Um, it adds like a next level of strength, so a next level of grit. And I noticed that when I was racing, that it gave you a different type of edge. Whereas you would get on the climb and everyone is horsing or in a certain part of the ride and everyone is like just really putting down the power. But because you have that sort of depth of punishment, like and racing in the classics in Belgium gives you a different type of punishment and endurance. It just makes you strong in a different way. And when the going really really gets tough, having that type of strength, like and that resilience, it's just puts the body and mind in a different place. So when it really, really gets tough, I think Tadej is going to have the advantage on those days that tend to be a little harder than they should be, a little harder than normal. Um, but like Jonas is like the Visma people, they're like scientists, man. They're tactically astute, like you wouldn't believe. So what they did to get that man in shape last year was beyond incredible. But Jonas had a bunch of races in before he had that crash, so he had a pretty high level of fitness. So even though he may have lost some fitness from being down and out and not being able to race, uh, his had he not been that fit when his accident happened, then it would have been an even tougher road to getting fit again. But yeah, it was pretty incredible to see what he did and to make the comeback that he did and perform like he did last year in last year's tour. So it's going to be very interesting to see the outcome. It's just like two different approaches. Like whose approach is right, whose approach is best, whose approach is going to make the biggest difference. But I do think that this year's tour is going to be a lot closer, and it's going to be. I think the battle is going to last longer and stay close, uh, closer to the end. I don't think there is going to be any monumental gaps in this year's, like first second between the two. Let's just say between the two. So that's going to be like, anyway, we're just excited to see that coming up, and I just thought I'd come outside and get some air. And the sun is shining a little bit. That's crazy. It's freezing. It's still flipping freezing cold, but we're here. We're outside, and we're bringing you my thoughts on the preparation for Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogacar leading up to the Tour de France. And as you can see, the program for each rider is completely different. Now we see that Tadej has done our Strada Bianca already, and he's done the UAE Emirates Tour where he won both of those. And it was almost like in Strada, it was almost like he was playing like I guess somebody told him, like, you got a lot of races, you got a long season, just do enough to win, do what you have to. There's no need to do like 100-kilometer breakaway. That's insane, because it just kills the body and your body takes longer to recover, and you got a tough schedule coming up. And hats off to Tom Pidcock. I think Tom Pidcock is going to be a rider for the future. Visma Lisa Biker got some guns, in the chamber for the future. They're just like, oh my goodness, they're looking like the riders for the future, just looking amazing. But we got a lot of young riders coming through, and hopefully I'll get to talk to some of them later in the year at some of the races or even on Instagram, and we see what we could do and we see who we could bring. Anyway, this is Inish Louis, say with your legs media. Remember to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And as we run this up, it's about to get interesting. Tour de France. We got the Giro. We can't forget the Giro, which Wout is doing the Giro. Who else is doing the Giro? That's of significant. Oh, Primoz Roglic, and he got slammed by Geraint Thomas because he's not doing the tour because I guess he feels he doesn't have a chance in the tour, so he's not going to the Tour de France. And hey man, just go race, man. You never know what can happen. And then we got Remco. I think Remco should be out for the Giro, and a few other riders. And I think Q35 is waiting and hoping that they can get like a call up or a Q36.5, hoping that they get that wild card spot and get invited to the Giro. Anyway, let's get out of here. We're outside of Crystal Palace. That's the one of the Premier League football teams here in the UK. Not my team. I don't follow the Premiership like I used to. Anyway, we will see you. Thanks for joining. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Say with your legs media. You know what to do. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel.